So, hi everyone, Ashish this side, and this session is, as you can see from the name, only interpreting the problem statement. So, before jumping ahead, I would like you to share the session with your friends because we are going to discuss about the hackathon, how you should proceed further with the hackathon. The problem statement that we are having here, like for the hackathon, is basically. Uh, that you can see from the link in the description as well. But this time we are not going to take that particular problem statement. We are going to use some other problem statements in this particular session. For that purpose, I am having a presentation as well. As we proceed further, we are going to discuss about the hackathon, how you can hack the hackathon. So this is basically the title of today's session as well, how you can hack the hackathon. So we are going to first of all summarize whatever we have done earlier about this session. We already have a session about hack the hackathon. That was the part one. Today we are going to summarize in just 5 minutes whatever all the tips and tricks that we are having, and after that we are going to discuss about what should be the next step. Sorted. So let's start with the session of hack the hackathon. So to summarize, so these are the three problem statement that we are going to have. Okay, first is about the agriculture, right? We are going to take agriculture based project. We are going to see how you can proceed further with this. Okay, if you are having a problem statement of agriculture, what should be the input, how you will collect the data set, what should be the actual pipeline of the project. We are going to discuss about that. Second is about the coronavirus, right? If you want to proceed further with this particular project, how you can unfold it or interpret the problem statement, and how you should proceed further with the course. And third is breast cancer detection. So we are going to discuss about that part as well, how breast cancer detection can be detected. And apart from just these projects, I'll also interpret how like a specific field knowledge will help you to make a better product, make a better project. Okay, so Nikhil, hi Nikhil, hi Tej, hi Suraj. Let me explain myself. Okay. So my name is Ashish Jangra. I'm one of the mentor here at Geeks for Geeks of Data Science course, and yeah, that's a bit about me. So let's proceed further with the first of all like unfolding the hackathon. So it's basically comes under two parts. One is data analysis point of view, and second is in data science point of view. How you can interpret the whole problem statement, because this is a data science based hackathon, and if I'm not enrolled yet, so it's gonna end the really soon in November. So make sure to register yourself and proceed further with the hackathon. You will learn a lot from this, because a lot of people are going for the hackathon. They are going to make the summation, learning the things. It will basically teach you a end-to-end pipeline, starting from Python to data analysis to machine learning to deep learning and to deployment. Okay, we are also going to have some very special sessions specifically for you, like this one. Okay, so let's proceed further with the unfolding the hackathon. So first step, as you can see, we are having five pictures. So first step is ideation. We are going to find the idea. Okay, once we are having an idea, okay, this is the idea that we are going to have. On this particular idea, I'm going to make the project. Okay, so the next step is making the pipeline. Okay, this is the idea how I will proceed further with the with cracking this particular problem. Okay, so you will need a pipeline. Okay, and the pipeline will go something like this. Okay, this is how I'm going to collect the data, this is how I'll proceed further, this is the technique I will use, and this is how the final output will look like. We'll have a step-by-step process, a pipeline. Okay, now the next is, once you are having the pipeline, the very important thing that you need to have is data set. Data set, guys, is very important thing, right? Specifically in data science based hackathon, name itself is saying this is a data science based hackathon, so data is required. So you need to have a data related to that particular problem statement. If you want to make a recommendation system engine, like that can recommend the products to a particular user or recommend the books, you need to have a data set that is having books. As simple as that, right? Same thing, proceed further with the rest of the things as well. Okay, so data set is very important. The next is you need to perform ED on this, go through the data set, how data set is structured, and then you will clean the data set. We've already discussed in some other session. I'm just recapping all the things in just 5 minutes. Once the cleaning part is done, we are good to go in analyzing the thing and finding important insights from the data set. And this is basically a six-step process: ideation, project pipeline, data cleaning, EDA, means data collection, EDA, data cleaning, and data analysis. This is pretty much it, a six-step process. Okay, and this is something that you need to perform in all the data science problems, right? The next step is basically building the dashboards, because you have analyzed the data set, but you need to showcase it to the larger audience. This is what the purpose of the hackathon, right? And because we need to do this part, so building the dashboard and deploying the project is very, very important. Sorted. So this is about data analysis, and in the data science we have discussed, like, we need to proceed three-step more than that, where we need to encode the data set, build a machine learning model or deep learning model, and check the accuracy. This is about the last session that we are having. Now we'll dig deeper into today's problem statement after deploying, dashboard building and deploying. Okay, so these three basic problem statement we are having is of agriculture, COVID, and breast cancer detection. Let's start with agriculture. Okay, so I would like to know from you guys as well. Do let me know in the chats if you are having an agriculture based project where you need to, let's suppose, make uh, a, a, an algorithm where you can just click the picture of a leaf of a plant, and through which you can detect, okay, these are probably the issues with the plant. So in that particular case, if you want to make this kind of project, comes under agriculture, very helpful, uh, for very helpful to a very larger audience. So what you can do in that particular case, the first step that you should proceed further in this particular case is you need to have an idea in your mind. Idea is clear. You need to have a pipeline. Okay, what should be the next step? Right. Once you have made the pipeline, okay, the next step is collecting the data set. How you will collect the data set for this particular use case? Okay, to collect the data set, there are multiple ways. Okay, we are going to discuss about rest of the problems as well. And one of the most widely used way is, because most of the time what you can do, the data set is already available on the internet. Okay, so search on the internet for, like, plant leaf detection or probably disease detection for plants. So for that purpose, just do write the prompts in the on Google search and see what kind of results you will get. Most of the time you will get the data sets. Okay, data sets of, like, the first step is obviously, like, through clicking the picture you will get to know, okay, which kind of leaf, which kind of plant is there, like, for which the leaf belongs to. And comes to coming to the next part of it, you need to identify what kind of problems it is having. For example, if it's feeling dry, or it's going pale. So for getting dry, so it might be the problem with overwatering or underwatering. If if the leaves are getting yellowish, so there might be a problem of some nutrients, right? If the leaves are falling, so there might be, or for, like, peeling the leaves, the reason also might be the direct sunlight is enough sunlight you are not getting, you are not giving to the plants because you are not running on sunlight. So this is the ideal process. Okay, this is how you are thinking. Okay, this is how it should be done. So for that purpose, you need to collect the data set. Most of the time in this particular case, the data set might be already available. So what you can do, once you're having the data set with you, the next step is take the data set and train a machine learning or deep learning model. Okay, go through the data set, how many classes you are having, and then proceed further with the machine learning or deep learning model. Okay, in that particular case, it can go a region specific problem, because let's suppose the plant that we are growing in India might be different. There might be some species in India which are not growing that much as compared to, let's suppose, the plants in, let's suppose, I would say, in Canada. Okay, because of the environment difference. So in that particular case, the more data you are having, the wider variety of data you are having, the better it will become. Okay, and the more classes you are having, let's suppose if I'm talking about, uh, let's suppose we are having 10,000 different kind of plants we are having. Okay, and out of those 10,000 total number of plants we are having all over the globe, 1,000 of them we are having in India. Okay, if you want that algorithm to use, like, if you want uh, your users to use the algorithm in India, so you might be giving the model which is trained on just India specific plants. Because rather than predicting the output from 10,000, different plants, you are just getting the prediction from 1000 different plants. Okay, do write do write a yes in the chats if you're understanding, and if you are having any question, any doubt, any other like steps that they can follow with. So that's also something you can write in the chats. Okay, so then you will proceed further with the machine learning or the deep learning model. And once the machine learning and the deep learning part is over, you can take that model and deploy it for the larger audience. Okay, so that every user can use it. At the end of the session, I'm also going to give you some pro tips how the things can be implemented and what's the ideal way if you're having like any cherry points that you can get in the hackathon. So I'll give you those tips as well. But this is about the agriculture. Okay, the first is done. Now the second is COVID. Let's suppose like what you can make on COVID. So there are a lot of things that can be done. Okay, now, one ideal thing, like because I've gone through the data set, is about the research paper. So earlier project that we were having of agriculture, that is about image data because we are having images of leaves. So we need to train the model in that same way. And that problem comes under computer vision. If I'm talking about COVID, so there is a data set of COVID research papers available on Kaggle. So it's like the size of the data set is in GBs, and there are like thousands and thousands of research papers written on COVID virus. Okay, so in that particular COVID virus, or basically in that particular in those particular research paper, if you can train a model, right, train a basically NLP based model which can act as a chatbot. For similarly, we are having Chat GPT. Okay, if you can somehow train the chat gpt means on the specific data of COVID research paper, hundreds of thousands of COVID research paper, and the data set is already available on Kaggle, what you can do, you can train this on GPT, and then you can have a discussion with that particular model. Okay, what is the ideal, like this is the age I'm having, and these are the symptoms I'm having, what should be the ideal food I should have, what are the precautions I can take. Because it is because for one person to read all the research paper and giving you the suggestion is it should be obviously a superhuman kind of thing, but the computers can go through it very fast. And this is the same approach I'm trying to say here. Okay, training chat gpt on the specific data of COVID research papers, and there are hundreds and thousands of research papers available, the data set available on Kaggle, so you can check that out as well. Right, so second problem statement is also pretty easy. So what you can do, you can, like, you are having the problem statement in your mind. Okay, I'm having like this is what I want to make. The next step is making the ideation. You are having the idea. Next is collecting the data set. In that particular case, data set is already available. And because the data set is already available, because a lot of people have written the research paper on that, even if the data set is not available, what you can do, so on ARXIV website, which is the leading website which is hosting the which is having the research papers. In that particular case, like you can go there, you can check, okay, what are the number of research papers you are having specific to COVID. Okay, you can take those research paper through which, like, you can use their APIs if they are having, and ARXIV also having their own data sets hosted on Kaggle, so you can check that out as well, through which you can get all the links of those particular research paper. Then you can download it. You can use web scraping as well for personal use. Okay, once you're having the data set with you, so there are two ways: either you can collect the data set by your own using web scraping or APIs, or you can download the data set if it is publicly available. In both of the cases, you will have the data set. Once you're having the data set, you will clean the data set, you will go through it, you will see, okay, how everything is going with the data set. And the next step is analyzing the data set, finding important insight from the data set. Once you're having that insights, now this is the time to work on a machine, work on AI based project. Okay, so what you can add in terms of AI? In terms of AI, the things you can add for sure is working on any machine learning or deep learning models. And in this particular case, deep learning model works best, specifically NLP based models. Okay, and in NLP based models, if I'm talking specifically about GPT, so GPT is going to work for sure. Okay, and similarly, we are also having another attention mechanism based model. You can try that as well. Okay, once you're having that model, You can check the accuracy, how well it is performing when chat with them, chat with the model and see how it's giving you the response. You can fine tune the model, get a better accuracy, and then the final output that you are getting, the final model you are having, you can deploy it on the server. You can make a UI. Okay, this is how the chat will start. Same goes for chat GPT as well. Like if you open chat GPT, there is a prompt. Okay, this you can click on the new button and you can start writing the prompt. Similar kind of thing you can also use in your case. Okay, this is the prompt that I'm having, and if you want to write a couple of questions, okay, where it is originated, like what is the ideal, because it has learned from thousands of research papers. So there are very high chances that you will get a like pretty pretty accurate answer, right? Still having any question at any point of time, do write in the chats. Sorted. So this is the second problem statement that we have also discussed. Okay. Now the next problem statement is uh, breast cancer detection. So in breast cancer detection, we are having basically, I would like to go a little deeper into the cancer side of it, how cancer works, or how basically tumor works. So there are basically two kind of tumors. We are having benign tumor or malignant tumor. Okay, benign tumor are the one, as you can see from the image as well, cells that are not cancerous and won't spread. So these are basically non-cancerous cell. Basic tumors I can see, and they call it as benign tumors. Can be removed pretty easily, not at all an issue. The issue starts when we are having malignant tumor. Malignant tumor also called as cancerous tumor. Okay, these are the cells which are cancerous and it can spread to other tissues as well. Okay, and the disease that it will cause is breast carcinoma, or short form as breast cancer. Okay, I'm talking about like breast cancer in this particular case, but in a broader term, they are basically two kind of tumors: benign or malignant. Benign, non-cancerous; malignant, cancerous. And malignant tumors can spread cancer in any odd part of the body, not specific to breast. Okay, so because we are talking about like the cancerous cell, and in cancerous cell malignant, they can spread all over the body as well. It's not like if the cancer is developing, cancer tumor, malignant tumor is developing in the breast, it is not going to spread. It's not like that. It can spread. Okay, so this is a little history behind the tumors, how tumor works. Okay, and I'll tell you why this particular history, or why this particular knowledge will help you to build a better model, right? Now, these are some of the X-rays. Okay, how it can be classified. Okay, if first thing is obviously if someone is having breast cancer or not. Okay, that's the first step. The second step is if someone is having it, then what's the level of it? Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. And here you can see from the X-rays, or it is called monography. Okay, uh, or MRI. So in that particular scans, here you can see we are having four different levels. The first at the left is cancerous a little bit, but it's on level 1 cancer, where the density of the fatty breast tissue is, here you can see, more than 25%. Okay, and similarly, if I'm going from left to right, to level 2 to level 3 to level 4, it starts like the cancerous cell. If I'm talking about malignant cell, the density will start increasing for that. Okay, and because of that, the cancer will develop. Okay, and here you can see that that's the issue, starting from level 1 to level 2 to level 3 to level 4. There are different ways to deal with it. Okay, and only the density of those carcinoma, or basically the malignant cell, will define, okay, this is the issue they are having, or this is the issue they are not having. Okay, so how dense these tumors are will define how cancerous this is. Okay, and from the image only, how the doctor will identify. The doctor will take the scans, and then they'll go through the scan. They can see, okay, these are some special patterns that it is developing here, right here. Like if I'm talking about level 1, so there's some white pattern that is there. In level 2, the brightness, like it's having more noise, in a layman term, if I'm saying. In level 3, it's even worse, and in level 4, it's really dense, right? And this is how the cancer is developing, right? So to a doctor, this is how the doctor will say, okay, there are a lot of other functionalities as well that is going to take care, but on a layman term, this is how it works. So if you want to train a model that can do the same thing, but not depending upon the doctor, but depending upon the computers or an AI algorithm, how you can deal with it. Okay, to deal with it, first thing is you need to have the access to like the data set. So some of the data sets are already publicly available, but in terms of healthcare, wherever you want to make a realistic model, so you need to have realistic data. So for that purpose, there are a lot of colleges, a lot of organizations, even the IITs collaborating with the colleges, collaborating with the hospitals, where the scans of the patients are there, because these are the X-ray scans, so they are having that data. Like this is the X-ray, this is how the X-rays look, this is how bad the conditions are, how bad or how good the conditions are. These are the levels of I would say uh, cancer they are on: level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, and you can add one more level, which is level 0, which is known cancerous. Okay, so either non-cancerous or level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. This is how we need to classify it. So what we can do, if we are having, let's suppose, 100,000, or let's suppose 1,000 patients going through it. Okay, and for all those 1,000 patients, first of all, we'll have the X-rays, we'll have like on which particular level we can categorize them with. And once we are having that data, okay, after having that particular data, you can train your model on that. That's how simple, right? It means it's not that simple basically, but this is how the thing should be done. Okay, if you want to work on a realistic project, make sure to have a real life data. Okay, and this particular data, getting the access to these kind of data set is a bit difficult, because no, but like as a layman, as a single person, you it's really difficult to directly collaborate with the with with what I would say the hospitals. Okay, but if you are good at it, like if you are in a college and they are having collaborated with some of the colleges where you will get the specific access to their specific data set, so you can definitely have the benefit of it. Okay, you will have a edge on the already available data set, because that's the specific data set for that, and it's a live data set that you have collected. Okay, so this is also another thing that will add value to it. Once you have made the model, build a computer vision based model, then you can deploy it so that a larger audience can use it. Okay, and the benefit of it is earlier, where we are having just couple of people using it. Okay, you need to have the like monogram done, and then you need to send it to the doctor, then doctor is going to see it, and then he will tell you, okay, this is the situation, and this is how the things are doing nowadays. And let's suppose the doctor is taking 10 minutes per patient, so in 1 hour he can go with 6 patients, and in 5 hour shift he can go for like let's suppose like 5 6 or 30 patients in a day. Okay, but on the flip side, a computer can do like 30 patients in parallel, seriously. Okay, so this is the main reason why the computer vision algorithms are great. The AI is great. Okay, now I'm not saying the model will work best, it is going to give you 100% accuracy, but in this particular case, what you can do, it can give you a critical condition. Okay, let's suppose we are having 1,000 requests coming in, only the critical one where the accuracy is not that much, the doctor is going to just check, okay, if the machine is correct or not. So it's not, rather than like classifying everything is going fine, he's just going to rectify. Okay, if it is okay, okay, he or she can proceed with the next X-ray, right? So it is definitely going to save a lot of time and a lot of energy for the patients and for the doctors as well. Okay, okay, so this is basically about the third project as well. So here we have discussed about the three projects. Basically, we have discussed about the agriculture-based product. We have discussed about the COVID virus, and we have discussed about uh, breast cancer detection. Okay, and this particular knowledge that I have discussed with you, like the kind of tumors you are having, how it's gonna look, and how how you will get it in the data set. These are the kind of things which will uh, help you to write the code in a better way. For example, if you can see, the only portion which can classify, okay, it's level 1 2 3 4 is just the noise. So if for some reason, if you can classify this particular thing, or if you can increase the brightness or decrease the brightness, or perform some, what I would say, image processing techniques on these XA, And after that, these colors or these particular patterns can glow, right? It can be easily identified for the computers, so you will get a better accuracy, right? And how you will get to know? After learning the basics, right? So in these particular projects, you need to have two things in your mind. First is the fundamental knowledge, how machine learning pipeline, deep learning pipeline works. And the second is the project that you're making, make sure to have a specific knowledge about that project as well. For that purpose, you want to make breast cancer detection and you know how breast cancer works, what are the different levels we are having, how you can identify these patterns through an image processing techniques to enhance the patterns and so that computers can understand in a better manner. So these are the things that will definitely help you to have a better program. Okay. So now I'm going to share with you the Ninja tabs. But before that, let me see if we are having some questions. Sir, in agriculture project, can we do specific things like pest investigation? Yeah, you can do it for sure. Yeah, investigation can work for sure, Sanskriti. Okay. Yeah, because it's all about how much impact it's gonna take. So it's totally depend upon the impact. So that's totally up to you how you are dealing with it. Now let me share with you some ninja tips. Okay, so there's something we have discussed earlier as well, but let me summarize like about the tip. First thing is whatever project you are making, whatever problem statements you are having, complete that project. Don't leave anything incomplete. Okay, if you're having 5 features in your project and just 2 of them are ready, just work on those 2, remove the rest of the 3. Okay, because this is how it should be done. Okay, if you want to make a great project, you need to remove a lot of good good functionalities. If you want to make a great song, you need to remove like some good paragraphs, right? So this is how like you should make something great. So make sure to complete the project, don't leave anything incomplete. Okay, second is the documentation part. Make sure to have great documentation. Whatever you are doing, make sure to document everything. Okay, don't leave anything behind. Documentation is very important. We are going to go through the documentation that you have made. It's not about the project only, it's about the documentation as well, so that a larger audience can see what you have made, how you have made it, what's the purpose behind it. Make sure to write everything in the documentation. Next is for deployment. Make sure to go for deployment because you will get some uh, extra marks for that. It will be basically the cherry on the cake. So make sure to go for the deployment part, and in deployment part, the more scalable frameworks you are using. For example, Fast API is there, Flask, Django is there, and Flask and Streamlit. So take it in the reverse order. This is how you should be done. Fast API, Django are very scalable. So like if you are doing going with that, so you will definitely get some extra marks from me. Next is UI. User interface is going to matter for sure because you are going to deploy the project, and in that, if you are deploying the project, user interface is must. You must need to have a good user interface. Make it simple, make it crisp, make it to the point. Don't add extra functionalities, unnecessary functionalities. Don't add. Okay. Machine learning, deep learning, computer vision, NLP, if you are adding these kind of things into it, you will definitely get some cherry points rather than just going for the data analysis. But that totally depend upon the use case. If with data analysis only, you have made something great with a great use case, that's also going to work. No issues. Okay. Practical use case, as I already mentioned, practical use case is must. We are going to see how much practical use case the project is having. Okay. Hosting is mandatory. Make sure to host the project. It's mandatory. Okay. And don't leave anything incomplete. Don't leave anything incomplete. Otherwise, like it will add it will have a bad impact on the people who are going to review your project, right? So make sure to complete it. So to summarize, complete the project, make the documentation, go for the hosting, make try to go with scalable hosting. UI is going to matter. Make sure to have good UI, machine learning, deep learning, computer vision, NLP. If you're adding these things, you will definitely get some cherry points. Practical use cases is must, and is mandatory. Don't leave anything behind. So these are some of the ninja tips, and if you're adding this, you will definitely get some extra points from my side. Okay, so now if you're having any question, I'm here just for like half a minute or one. So if you're having any question, make sure to write it in the chats. I'll be more than happy to answer your queries. Otherwise, like we can wrap up the session. Okay, so just write it in the chats if you're having any Q&A. Okay. And if you want to have a discussion with me about anything related to data science, if you want to discuss anything with me, you can connect with me on LinkedIn as well. You can search my name on Google, like you, and we can connect over there. So if you're having any doubt, any question like about this hackathon, about anything else related to data science, you can connect with me for sure on LinkedIn. Okay. So I think we are not having any question. So I think we are good to go, Shukriya. And make sure to like appear for the hackathon. And I've given you like almost everything how I want you guys to proceed further, and on top of that, like it's open to you how you want to proceed further, but I've given you an overview how it should be done. So thank you so much everyone for joining in. But if still having any question, make sure to write it in the comments, and just like the video, and share it with other students who are proceeding further with any hackathon of data science, or any or this particular hackathon or any other hackathon that's happening anywhere else as well. So make sure to share that with them, and just take these things in your mind, the things that I've shared, and you will definitely get some cherry points from my side. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, and bye bye. Shukriya.